Hey guys, my name is Ariel. Welcome to my channel, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience in the new Grad RN program or residency program that I was in. I started last year, April 2020, about a month after COVID lockdown, so it was very interesting. So I just wanted to give you guys some insight about my experience, and they seem to be pretty similar. Aside from the fact that I started about a month after COVID hit, it was a little tweaked, the program. So if you guys are interested in learning about my experience in the new Grad RN program, then continue to stay tuned. Alright, so I was very excited to start my RN residency program. I really so I'll just rewind a little bit and give you guys some history. So I went to a private RN program. I started it was like a ladder program. I did the LPN first, and 2 weeks after that I started the RN program. I wanted to do that so I can get a little bit experience while in school. So about a year after the program, I got my LPN license. I practiced at a nursing home, and I worked PRN there. The pay was pretty good. The bonuses and everything were really good, so I stayed there, and I really enjoyed the patients, and it was a lot of fun. Of course, you know, short staff sometimes, but I really did appreciate my experience there. So when I got my RN, it was in February 2020. I stayed there for about another year, actually, PRN. So I stayed at the nursing home for 2 months before I started my residency program in April. And I really enjoyed the freedom of being PRN, just working as needed, making my own schedule and stuff like that. But I really wanted to dive in to inpatient bedside nursing. I wanted to get my acute care experience because my dream was to be a travel nurse. So I stayed at the nursing home, and another reason why is because the RN residency programs, they typically like you to sign a contract, and that kind of scared me because in school, I remember my teacher, she was actually an educator at the hospital that I wanted to work at, and she was telling us about the contract and how we would have to pay back a certain amount of money if we decided to quit, no matter what time we quit. And the total cost for the program was $4,400 with interest. So that was just something I did not want to be responsible for if I decided I did not like the program. So I took, about 8 weeks to think about it, and I just, took that leap of faith and signed up for the program, or applied for the program. And then the next day I got called by HR, and they set up a phone interview because, like I said, this was about a month after COVID started. No, this was 2 weeks after COVID started when I got my interview. That process took about 2 weeks to get hired and actually start. Phone interview. I did the phone interview. I did also an interview with the educator, and then I came in and did my physical and all that good stuff. And then they set up my orientation schedule, and luckily, our program, and what really got me interested in this specific residency program at this hospital, by the way, it is a level 1 trauma center, magnet hospital, was the 18-week orientation length, which was really cool. It was one-on-one with your preceptor as advertised. I believe I did about 14, 15 weeks though, because I felt I was ready at that time. And plus we were so short-staffed and just bombarded with COVID and all these crazy things, I just decided to go for it. So I started April 13th. The first week we actually got to take home some of our work. It was just mainly onboarding, health streams, which is online educational videos and exams and stuff like that. So that was the first week. And the second week, the first day, I met with my preceptor. And actually, so the way our program was supposed to be set up is was supposed to be set up. The first 4 weeks, it was supposed to be in like 4 to 6 week blocks. The first few weeks we were supposed to be training with a very not so experienced nurse, possibly about 6 months of experience, and then the next few weeks we were supposed to be with someone higher than that, and then someone more seasoned, and so on and so forth. But I actually got to be with one preceptor the whole first 12 weeks. So I signed up for day shift, and I know this is kind of all over the place, but it was 14 months ago, so I'm just trying to think about it. So the first 12 weeks I was day shift, and 2 weeks into the program I decided I wanted to do night shift. It just worked better for me, and then also we don't really get paid pretty well as a new grad RN, so I wanted to kind of get those differentials going and all that stuff to kind of offset all the taxes they were taking out, because they were taking out quite a bit. So the first 12 weeks I did day shift, and I got approved for night shift, and so I started that, I think, the end of July. I think July 29th, if I'm not mistaken. That's the night that I started night shift, and I was with this really awesome preceptor for 3 weeks, and I learned so much in that short time frame because he was pretty seasoned. So I got with him, and by that time I really felt like I was ready. I was a little anxious about drips, heparin drips, insulin drips, and all that, because I really didn't get too much experience, but I was assured that I will get experience every single day that I'm there, and everyone's here to help. Team leaders are very good, like they are so good. They are the go-to people, okay? Walking encyclopedia. So going back, my specialty is med-surg. I really didn't know what specialty fit me best, so I kind of just wanted to get a broad experience in med-surg, and I kind of do wish that I started a little bit more of higher acuity, like advanced care or possibly even ICU, but live and we learn, whatever. Med-surg, we do get to float to advanced care sometimes, which is kind of like the step down ICU or whatever. So that was a good experience as well. And my time being there through that year, I did float quite a bit. I floated to the COVID unit like 4 months, like a straight 4 months, at least one day a week I was floated to the COVID unit. I worked in the neuro advanced care, oncology, general advanced care, pulmonary unit. I never floated to the renal unit though. So back to my home unit, which was a medical surgical unit, and we do have some telemetry, but it's really not. We have an actual step-down cardiac unit for that with very close cardiac monitoring. But we do basic cardiac monitoring, but I will say we didn't get that much. No one really on our unit has that much experience in it because we don't monitor them that closely. It's just once a shift we read the strips, and of course they ring out if they have abnormal rhythms like AFib or ETAC, of course, which most of them are false, but I digress. So medical surgical unit, we deal with general surgery, along with a variety of other cases, but our main specialty is general surgery, which is our urology surgeries, renal, kidney stones, nephrostomies, prostate removals, GI surgeries. We deal with a lot of colon cancer patients, a lot of colostomies. We have quite a few diabetic patients, which, the foot amputations, toe amputations, cellulitis. We do get a few suicide SITs as well, alcohol withdrawal patients, a variety of infections, UTI. I can go on. Let me think. What else do we get? We get Whipples. That's our most critical patients. Typically, they are on a PCA, a PCA pump, and very, very heavy patient to deal with. But yeah, so general surgery, and that experience was really good. And the thing about our hospital, it's so big. It's I can't even think about the number of beds. About 700 bed hospital, and everything is very well laid out. All the units are pretty much divided. So, like our general medical surgical unit is not like the one you're gonna see in the middle of nowhere, where all of the med-surg patients, all the telemetry patients are in one unit. It's very divided. They have, like I said earlier, the renal, the oncology, cardiac telemetry. They even have a separate oncology unit for GYN patients. So, and which is just down the hall. Going back to my experience in the new Grad RN program, and I kind of wanted to just give you an overall kind of insight on what I experienced my first year as well, so that's kind of why I'm rambling. So it was really good. I will say I didn't even know like how to put the electric bed down, like where's the linen, like I didn't have any experience, so that orientation was really interesting the first few weeks. My preceptor for the 12 weeks, she was very short. She didn't really give much of an explanation, but I ended up figuring it out on my own for the most part, and I went to my team leader and all that. So I will say this hospital is really good. It's a teaching facility. 99% of the staff, the nurses, are very good, very open to help you, very knowledgeable, and very nice. The doctors as well, they are not as intimidating as you think. You would think in nursing school, calling a doctor at midnight, because there's hundreds of residents at the hospital that you can call, and they're very nice. Like, I'm shocked. I'm still shocked. But yeah, so that is my experience with my first year. But there were some things that were left out of our residency program. Really, I would say our residency program, with my experience, was just a prolonged orientation period, because most hospitals give you about 6 weeks, and ours gave double, triple that if needed, because the lab simulations, the in-services, the actual lab where you practice on blood draws, IV starts, and all that were closed because of COVID. So I didn't really get that. We did get a very vague, very just brief class, like I would say just a handful of times, about 30 minutes each. Just like, okay, this is your wounds, this is your wound class, this, and this is recommended to use for wounds, this, and this is the protocol for if you do find a patient with a wound, hospital acquired or not, and just giving some very basic information about it. So I came at a really on time, of course, but I understand, it was hard for everyone. So, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up because I've just been rambling so much, but I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down below. And I plan on making more videos about my nursing experience. Thank you.